We got this week? What have we got this week? Well, welcome to my weekly rant. This is the flu season. This was the 2018 flu season, which wasn't particularly bad, but you see that there were excess deaths over this line, which is the uh, upper bound threshold. And in January and over the winter, you see it goes up, and we're expecting why it doesn't peak at the same place each year is because they're doing a running average. But this is this year, and these are preliminary with some estimates added in, right? Now, that looks pretty bad. Oh no, we've got COVID problems. But come on, there we go. Excess deaths with and without COVID 19. Now, the blue is with the COVID. This is without. Notice this. Notice this. Normally, come spring, excess deaths, the death rate drops off because people get happy. People have less trouble with flu and colds and things like that. But instead, starting in March, by the end of March, by beginning of May, April, we're seeing a significant amount of excess deaths caused by the lockdown. All of the flu deaths were called COVID 19 this year. And yeah, it peaked. Of course, the only place where we had thousands of deaths in a locale was where idiots murdered people by sending sick people to nursing homes instead of hospitals. But this is the murder that I'm talking about today. The suicides, the stress heart attacks, the excess deaths caused by the fear porn that your goddamn governments promulgated and fed into with insane, I'm talking completely insane lockdown orders. But you see, this is still preliminary. That's why this has not been updated. The COVID problem is over. Over. It's just healing. It's just healing. If somebody does not have COVID at this point, they aren't going to get it because it's not flu season anymore. No place in the country has the problem with interior uh, air quality at this point. Humidity lets causes the virus to die in air. It has to be a dry situation for it to survive. Humidity also lets your sinuses be healthy. Flu season is over. Our governments murdered people with their reaction to this drug, to this COVID 19 situation. murdered. And we can see it in the results here. Without the lockdown, it would have been a severe flu season. Okay? It would have peaked around here. You see, we'd have to take off 20,000 deaths here, a couple thousand deaths every week of the year, even in the middle of summer. 50,000 dead. Okay? We're a big country. So going from 50 to 60,000 dead, yeah, it's important. Yeah, people should be careful. $66,000 dead here. 76 here. It would have been effectively a severe flu season. So it still doesn't explain why, for a severe flu season, China locked down hard on Wuhan and locked down their entire country for a month. Now, the lockdown solved their issue of the protests in Hong Kong. They scared everybody to stay home. And once you mess up the elan, the feeling of accomplishing something, of doing something, you once you do that, you mess up the the social cohesion of the rioting movement. And but I don't think that's the entire reason. I think um, I think this was supposed to be a bioweapon, and an accidental release of a bioweapon from their lab, and they didn't know that it wasn't a particularly effective bioweapon. um, I think that's what happened. Or it could all be an operation um, started by the cabal that Bill Gates is a part of to try and reduce world population uh, through nefarious means. Um, don't know. Without without some sort of leak of their discussions, um, without some sort of you know, accurate information out of that biolab in Wuhan, can't say. Um, the rumors of millions of dead in uh, in China are hard to trace, hard to verify. The We found out uh, that T cells are reduced in patients with this, and that but it seems that that is not a significantly robust insertion. It seems to be an insertion uh, which the virus selects against in mutation, um, because that's uh, just not a terribly useful thing for the virus. It doesn't help the virus to promulgate itself to new hosts, which is what the which is what is selected for, right? You've got to promulgate to new hosts, and that's um, and so parts of the viral code that don't um, add to that are going to be selected against during mutation. Um, and I think that's what happened here is that they had this bioweapon designed to destroy the immune system with an attack path through the lungs, and that would spread through the lungs. And so they want we're planning to have a very robust kill rate, and and I think China probably got that for the first wave before it started mutating significantly. And once it mutated, it mutated to a less deadly strain. Um, and I think they specifically planned it for virulence, um, and communicability. And that's why they did the shutdown they did. But by the time it made its way to other countries, um, to the US in particular, but I think the only place that got a significant amount of the virulent and deadly strain was Italy, it seems. Um, but what was not more deadly, but unacceptably deadly was the fear porn. The shutdown of hospitalization for other causes, the destruction of of liberty, and I think that that allowing our government to engage in fascist tactics, um, based on this fear porn, was was a sad commentary on the strength of will and the desire for freedom of the American people. If you do not stand against tyranny, even when afraid, you cannot be free. Be brave, be kind, be careful. Peace and joy.